All right. What is up, traders? What's up, tycoons? Super excited for today's video. And is the top finally here in the market? We're going to talk about that today. You can see we've got this rising wedge, bearish divergence. MACD is about to cross over bearish. We'll break down the chart. Okay, this is the SPY daily time frame, right? But we really walked through the movements in the market today by understanding the gamma levels. All right. And I've gone over these gamma levels before and dropped a video on them. That one is definitely worth a watch. And I mentioned pre-market, before the market opened, hey, we've got this 4-hour trend line on the S&P 500 futures. If we break this, things can get pretty ugly, and we could potentially see another $5 drop in the SPY. And we pretty much got that, right? SPY went from 495 to about 490 intraday today. And we talked about a lot of the levels, right? And how the put wall, as you can see in the Discord, 10 a.m. And we're saying that price will likely be drawn there as a magnet. And if we end up going below 42 and holding there, we can squeeze down to about 490, right? And that's what really ended up happening. So we'll break down that price action and what it is that I was seeing and breaking down for the Discord members. We're also going to talk about TLT, okay? Because there was a massive move up today in the 10-year treasury yields and in treasury yields across the board, obviously because of the hot inflation report. So we're going to go down all of the key levels, break down everything that you guys really need to pay attention to. All you guys have to do is smash the like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the future videos, and we'll get into it. But as always, the content provided on this channel is for informational and educational purposes only, and is not intended to be relied upon as legal, financial, or investment advice. So be sure to read through the disclaimer. And if you're new to the channel, I started a completely free newsletter for you guys. It gives out free trade ideas, free valuable finance and trading content, and I'll try to sprinkle in like 1 or 2 free trade ideas a week for you, highlighting the conditions on the chart, everything it is that we're looking at, showing you the chart itself. And you can go check out the newsletter. Many of these trade ideas have worked out very well. So sign up for that using the link in the description, completely free. People in the Discord talking about some of the trade ideas from the newsletter, working out really well for them. So you guys can sign up for that using the link in the description. You guys can sign up for the Discord. It's only $10 a month. That price is likely going up in the future. But you can see some of the different plays that we've been in. And we do a lot of options tradings and futures trading and different things like that in the Discord. So it's a really good community. And the link is in the description. All right. For the paid Discord, it's only $10 a month, or the free newsletter. Either or, I really think that you guys are going to be happy with the value you get provided. Now, before we break down today's price action, let's zoom out a little bit, okay, and look at the daily time frame. And what do we have setting up? Well, we've got a big old rising wedge right here, okay, that's very clear to see. And we've got a bearish divergence. Now, what is that, you may be asking? Well, take a look how we're making a high here, and then we're continuing to make higher highs up here, right? Well, we have a high, we have a lower high, and a lower high. So at these same exact points, we're seeing a divergence. This means they're doing something different, right? So we can see we have high, and now we're creating higher highs, but we're creating lower highs on the RSI. And yet again, we're creating higher highs, but lower highs on the RSI. So that's a simple term known as a divergence. You can call it a negative divergence, a bearish divergence, whatever you want to call it. But we're seeing the stock price do something different and the RSI do something different here as well. Now, this white line is very close to crossing below the red line. That is typically what's known as a bearish crossover. You can see we had a bearish crossover here, and then we ended up dropping another 10 points on the SPY. So we'll see what happens. Right now, we're pretty much just dancing in between the call wall and the put wall, and we'll break down what those are a little bit more. So this is one of the features in the Discord. There's lots of valuable resources and stuff, but you can take a look at the gamma levels as well as dark pool levels and other things in the Discord. And so what we did was we looked at the gamma levels for today, and we can see that the call wall was 495, the put wall was 492, zero gamma was 494, okay? And that's pretty important. That's pretty significant, okay? And we're going to break down why in just a second. But we also talked pre-market about how important this trend line was right here on the 4-hour time frame for the S&P 500 futures. And if we were to break those, we could see, a nasty drop. And that did end up happening. Now, we broke down and we're given updates early in the morning about the put wall and, how price is going to react to that. And when we zoom in here, Essentially what happened was we got above the call wall, right, which was 495. And so you have to realize you have your zero gamma level, right? If you're above zero gamma, you're obviously in positive gamma territory. And if you're below zero gamma, you're in negative gamma territory. So you don't need to overcomplicate it. Just kind of think of it as, hey, we have a little bit more odds of being bullish if we're above the zero gamma level, and we have a little bit more odds of being bearish if we're below the zero gamma level. Okay, it's nothing huge. The zero gamma level is basically just saying, hey, the market's indifferent on a gamma level, right? And once you're above there or below there, then you can have a little bit of an inference. So you can see in the morning after the gap down, we came down here to the zero gamma level, and then we had a huge engulfing candlestick right here, right? And that led us to actually come up above the call wall. Okay. And so what happens is when you hold the call wall and you go above the call wall, these walls, whether it's a call wall or a put wall, they act as very strong resistance or very strong support. But if you can maintain those levels, then oftentimes you see what's known as a gamma squeeze, right? And that can move price action very quickly above or below those levels. So you can see we have the big engulfing candlestick here. We come up to the call wall, face some resistance, and here we actually hold it, right? And this is when we got a squeeze. Now on the 5-minute time frame, on the 5-minute chart, this is a 15-minute right here. We posted in the Discord, hey, this is a cup and handle right here. So, time frame, there's different patterns on different time frames. The 15-minute is very clean for this video that I'm trying to present, but we said, hey, we have our cup and handle right here, knowing that this is the call wall. If the cup and handle fires, right, we could see a little bit of squeeze to the upside. And a lot of people started taking some profits up here. And then I said, hey, you really need to be cautious of this rising wedge right here. And sure enough, that rising wedge took us from 495, almost 496, really, all the way down to about 490.50, 490 and 50 cents on the SPY. And again, when you look at these gamma levels and understand, you can see that we came down, right? The rising wedge played out very well. And we came down here to that zero gamma level and we bounced a little bit, right? So the market was trying to stay gamma positive. And once we broke through there, that's when we got into that negative gamma territory, right? We come down, we come up for a little bit of a retest right here. And now we're in that we're below the zero gamma level in that negative gamma territory. And we understand. And I was telling people, hey, if we lose 494, right, and we don't hold that because we were chopping around right here, trying to retest it, seeing if we could reclaim it. I said, if we lose this level, we're going to see a flush basically, right? Because now we're in negative gamma territory. We have a bearish catalyst behind us. All of the market internals were really bearish. And the market internals are really, really great, especially if you aren't too familiar with them. Those will really help to give you an edge in understanding, what is the overall direction most likely going to be that day. The internals were very bearish. And so we know that we're going to be attracted to the put wall now that we're in this, negative gamma territory. And we know that, hey, if we actually hold below this put wall, okay, and hold, below 492, we could see a quick squeeze to the downside, right? So you see, we come down, we immediately fire down to the put wall, get a reversal candlestick, and we try to push up, but buyers just completely fail. They fail here, they reject, and what do? Well, we end up getting a large engulfing candlestick here, squeezing down to about 490.5. Ultimately, before sellers were exhausted, and look at where we ended up closing the day. Right back, right around that zero gamma level. So, as a trader or a day trader or a scalper, I mean, today presented you with so many different opportunities. And you really can't ask for much more. Now, was it easy? No. I mean, honestly, if I'm being honest, I barely came out the day green. Okay. On my trades. It's a very tough trading day with all of this volatility. But, understanding these levels, understanding the gamma levels and things like that did help to give an edge versus, just staying too long up here or staying too short when we're all the way down here. We were able to catch a nice move right here, a nice recovery move. And that one was really, really nice. I tried to see if we were going to hold the put wall, and I took a nice little loss here on the squeeze to the downside. But once we started to reverse, this was a very nice push at the end of the day. I mean, this is a strong push, guys. We went from 491 to 494 in 30 minutes. Pretty strong push right there. And so that's it for the SPY. Okay, breaking down everything that happened there. When we look at the TLT, we already told you guys that this thing was topping out. Okay, and we went over all of the different warning signs. We talked about the rounded top right here. We talked about the bearish MACD crossover. We talked about breaking this initial bullish divergence trend line that fueled the rally in the beginning, right? When we had lower lows here, but higher lows here on the RSI. We said, hey, if we break this, that's going to be a potential red flag. Sure enough, we broke, retested it. As soon as we retested and rejected it, we got the bearish MACD crossover. And then we also came down here, retested this trend line, pushed down lower. And we've really just been kind of patient after catching that nice little short move on TLT. And what do you know? We had a huge sell-off here again, right? So we have the move down. We have a little bit of a retracement. And to me, this is setting up for an ABC correction in the TLT, right? And so we've got wave A over here. We've got wave B, and wave C can potentially come down to about 89.39, or we could come down and fill some of these gaps at 88 or around 85, right? It just depends on how far this C wave wants to extend. We'll have to see ultimately at the end of the day what's going to happen. We still have lots of data coming out. Then we've got PPI later this week. And the main thing you want to pay attention to is treasury yields, right? And, we've had a little bit of a more bullish tone on the treasury yields. We caught this initial move up on the treasury yields by shorting TLT. Okay. And, we posted the breakout here. Right. And you can see we came out, retested this area here, and we just kept staying below 4.187. That was always the goal whenever we were looking for this move up in treasury yields. And it really was acting a little bit of as a wall here. We weren't able to get past that area, rejecting it again multiple times over here. And you can see the catalyst today with CPI just absolutely blew past this. Most likely treasury yields are going to be heading up towards 4.362 to about 4.495. So we'll call it 4.35 to about 4.5 on the 10-year treasury yield. And if the 10-year treasury yield continues to rise, then that most likely is going to result in something like TLT going down. Remember, as the yields go up, the bond prices go lower. That's just how they work. That's the way that the bond mechanisms are. And it doesn't have to be completely bearish for yields, okay? This thing could start to roll over a little bit. Maybe this was a little bit of an overreaction. But whenever we have these strong days, we typically tend to see that trend continue, right? I mean, you see these big, strong sell-off days, right? And what do you see? That trend ends up continuing. Big, strong sell-off day right here. That trend continues. Strong sell-off day here. That trend continues. And, a big buying day right here, that trend continue, big buying day right here. So, really, we're just kind of dancing in between that 4.35 to about 4.187 right now. So if we do start to peel back on the treasury yields on the TNX, that's where you're going to want to pay attention, okay? That's where you're going to want to keep a really important eye on and say, hey, does this thing bounce back up from here and then try to head up to 4.5? Or is this a false breakout, a look above and fail? And if we can get back below 4.187, that's going to be a bullish look for TLT, which now has multiple gaps up to fill. We've got one here. We've got a little bit of one left here and one over here as well. So keep a close eye on the market right now. Don't rush into anything if it's not clear to you, okay? A lot of people just force trades. They see a thumbnail or they see someone talk about a trade idea, and then they just force it because they don't have anything. They feel like they just missed something out. Wait for things to be clear for you, okay? Cash is a position until you have clarity, and you want to focus on high quality, really clear trading setups, to increase your odds of success, all right? So that's pretty much it for today's video. Join the Discord. Okay. The link is in the description. It's $10 a month. All of the Discord members get discounts as well on things like the coaching sessions. Okay. You can see some of the profits from the Discord. Check out the newsletter. All right. That's completely free. If you guys are interested in the coaching sessions, you can check out my Ko-Fi page. You just click on this commissions tab right here. And in there, you can book a 30-minute or you can book a 1-hour coaching session. As I mentioned, the Discord members do get discounts on those. One of the Discord members that had a coaching session, over the weekend, he started off Monday strong, $4,000 profits, and Tuesday or Wednesday had $4,000 profits. So he's, doing good, and he's got really good feedback from the coaching session. We love to see that. you know, we can go over whatever it is that you want, right? Some people want to go over different things. You know, we can go over some of the day trading dynamics that I look at, swing trading strategies, interactive Q&A. You know, sometimes people just kind of want to go over gamma. Sometimes people want to go over option strategies or want a little bit of an options tutorial, different things like that. You know, I'll be happy to set up a time with you guys. So use the Ko-Fi page. I'll see you in the Discord, or you can sign up for that newsletter. Either way, I think you guys will be happy with all of those services, any one of them that you choose. And I'll see you in the next video. All right.